I have returned to bring you the latest in comic book movie news as well as movie news. And if you see me on the screen, then you should know by now. It's time for another episode of Eddie G's Comic Culture. What's going on, peoples? What's happening? Thank y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys had a great holiday. And welcome back to the show. If this is your first time stopping over, just to let you guys know, this is a show that's dedicated mainly to pop culture, all things comic book related, as far as movies, comic books, graphic novels, television shows, music, all sorts of media spanning from the past to the present and even to the future. Thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. The show is still sponsored by the great folks over at Black Apparel, so make sure you stop on over to that website, show some love. I know they got some great gear coming up. It's the holidays are around the corner, guys. So in case you're looking for something nice, make sure you stop at www.blackapparelblk.com. And of course, if you know me, you know I start my shows with all of my shout outs. First and foremost, shout out to AJ, Nerdy Blurb TV, Blu-ray Dan, as well as my boy Pablo. We're gonna be getting this Channel 3 Eddie G podcast coming soon in the new year. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And let's start it off. Let's kick the show going. Let's kick this shit into high gear. So y'all already know the Wonder Woman 84 trailer came out. Finally, it took I don't know how long, but it finally we got the trailer. It is nothing. I mean, it was nothing less than expected, honestly speaking. First and foremost, it looks amazing. The movie just looks amazingly vibrant. They added some great color to it. It looks much more vibrant than it did in the last one. I mean, the last movie was great as well. But because of the World War background, the backdrop was really just like, it was kind of a grim setting in a sense because of that. But again, it was Wonder Woman's origin story. It had to really go into detail and explain the character. So at this point, we have this new continuation coming up, and it looks like that Pedro Pascal, who is playing Maxwell Lord. If you're familiar with DC Comics, Maxwell Lord has been one of the main antagonists for quite some time. He's always been like a skeevy kind of dude, a very shy. I guess you could say he was a very high end shyster. I guess you could say he was I would say something like somewhat of a Lex Luthor counterpart. I guess kind of a ripoff. I don't know. I haven't read him in such a long time. At one point, I know he was headline during the '90s. In Justice League, he was actually like the spokesperson for the team for quite some time, and but that was over 20 years ago. But yeah, for a while there, he was actually like one of the main. He was like the league spokesperson. So it looks like he's the main antagonist for this film as well, and he's being played by Pedro Pascal, who's doing a hell of a good job over at Mandalorian. So if you guys aren't watching it, make sure you check it out right now. The man's phenomenal. And of course, they didn't pull back any punches. It was no surprise that Steve Trevor was returning. There was quite a bit of set photos on that, so basically he was out there. It wasn't like he was going to deny it, but it was great that they showed that, and it looks like it's going to pick up to that chemistry, because I did like their chemistry in the first movie. Gal Gadot and Chris Pine really did the interaction was really organic. I really felt, I really felt that their relationship with this. So what was really dope about this feature was, even with all the action shots that it had, this trailer, it didn't show Cheetah. And it showed Barbara Minerva, of course. You see you see Kristen Wiig, but you don't see her in actual form. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, they kind of kept that back, and I'm really digging that idea. Like, I'm really feeling the fact that that's like, she didn't pull out. Patty didn't put all of it out there. I guess. Well, I'm not too sure. I think it's actually the studio that cuts the trailer. I'm a little off on that, but they didn't expose her. You know what I'm saying? Which was great. And you want to keep a thing like that. You want to keep a surprise like that under wraps. Even though it's not really that much of a surprise, because we all know that Cheetah is the villain of the movie, but we want to see her actual. We're waiting to see her in her actual true form, as it was in the comics. And obviously, the movie takes place entirely in 1984. How that's going to be explained, how that's going to play into this, I don't know. What kind of effects is it going to have into the DC universe? going forward as far as the DC Cinematic Universe going forward from here on out. I don't know. It looks like it's going to be a definite retcon for quite a few things regarding Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, and it just looks great. It looks, really looks great. That shot of them flying through the through the fireworks looks also dope as hell. I don't know if that's gonna be the invisible jet, but I doubt that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that really is the invisible jet. If it's the invisible jet, that would be really kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see the controls of the invisible jet. And if you're gonna do it like that, like do it, add it. Make it, CGI that piece. You know what I'm saying? CGI that bitch. I'm sure the studio has more than enough, but I doubt that was the invisible jet. However, that was a great scene, with the with that colorful shot of them in the plane, in the jet, and they're flying through the fireworks. It was just amazing. So I'm very hyped. June 5th, 2020. I cannot wait. And of course, moving on to the next one is Ghostbusters. That was a bad. I mean, yeah, my excitement, is just. I'm not gonna front. I've been going off ever since I saw the Afterlife trailer yesterday. The trailer for Afterlife came out. It looks great. Already, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just getting some great emotional vibes off of that, because it's you could tell that this movie's dedicated. It's gonna be a heartfelt letter to Harold Ramis, who played Egon Spengler in the first two in the first two Ghostbuster movies. There's a slight reference as well to the first film. And I'm not too sure. I think I did see one of the terror dogs from Ghostbusters, one Gozer's dogs, and that would have been, you know what I'm saying. But I guess they're keeping that under wraps as well. So a lot of good stuff. Like, I could tell, like, the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer, they didn't show the original cast yet, which was good, because I want that to be a surprise also. You know what I'm saying? But Paul Rudd looks like a natural in this film. Like, he's just. I thought he was a great. When they cast him, I was like, that sounds like he looks like a great fit for this film. And obviously, just judging by the trailer, I was absolutely correct. He did not disappoint. So I can't wait to see that. I see the kid from the Stranger. I keep forgetting this kid. Finn Wolfhard is his name. I think Finn Wolfhard is his name from Stranger Things, and he was in the first It as well. Actually, both movies. He was in he was in it in chapter 2 also for a little bit. So yeah. Well, him from Stranger Things, which makes sense, considering the fact that Stranger Things is actually built around, the story revolves quite a bit. Its backdrop is also it does revolve a bit around, well, not completely. It has a lot of Ghostbusters influence, and of course, there was mention of Ghostbusters in Stranger Things as well. So it looks great. It looks phenomenal. It's just it's a little heavy-handed. As I said before, the trailer's a little heavy-handed because you could tell it's going to be a passion project. It was a love letter to Harold. It's going to be a love letter to Harold Ramis. It's going to be a little hard watching this movie. It's going to be a very difficult thing to watch, because considering the fact of Egon, and this is the gang here, and plus he's not there. He's literally. It was hard watching. It was hard when Harold Ramis passed away in 2014. So having to see this now, it's going to really slap. And I just hope I'm cool with it. I hope I'm in one piece. But either way, another one is before I go any further, sad news in the Star Trek universe. If you guys don't know, from Deep Space Nine, I'm always having a hard time pronouncing this man's name. Rene Auberjonois. I'm not too sure how to pronounce his last. I'm so sorry, but he played Odo in Deep Space Nine, one of my favorite Star Trek series of all time, and he passed away this week. He was Constable Odo in the show. He was a shapeshifter, and the guy was a great actor. He was the villain in Police Academy 5, but he did have a lot of other memorable roles. He did some guest spots in other TV shows. Frasier was one of them, where he played his mentor. And it was really sad because he was such an integral part to the show, and I love Deep Space Nine. I love Deep Space Nine so much so it's up there with me. To me, it's up there with the original Star Trek series. I know a lot of people I know a lot of y'all. Listen, I know a lot of people are. I know the next generation fans. I know about Jean-Luc Picard and Voyager, Captain Janeway. I'm sorry, but Captain Sisko was always mine. And Deep Space Nine always, it just had such a great, Deep Space Nine is such a great show. I don't know if you guys ever, I've done an episode tribute for that. Let me tell you, it's one of the best shows on television, and it still holds up to this day. It has a lot of, it deals with a lot of deep topics, and he was just a fantastic cast member on the show as Constable Odo. He was so cool. He would always bust. He was always busting Quark's balls, and in Deep Space Nine, it was such a great man. It was very heartbreaking to see that he passed away. But salute, Godspeed. Thank you for everything, for your contributions and molding my childhood with this show. So with that being said, guys, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I'm keeping it a little brief tonight. But what do you guys think? Any questions or comments? Do you agree with what I'm saying with my assessment on these two trailers? Are you liking what you see so far? Which one are you hyped up on for the most? You already know. Make sure you hit the comment section. But don't forget to subscribe and make sure you get some notifications whenever I'm dropping some new shit. So until then, I hope y'all have a great one, blessed one. Stay safe. Peace.